In today's video, I'm about to teach you how to run the new defense all the pros are using to dominate right now in Madden 25. This defense is very easy to set up and it brings some of the fastest pressure in the game while still allowing you to play dominant lockdown coverage defense. Let's get it. YouTube, what is up? It is your boy Duke, back here from sportsgamers.com, and today we're going to be looking at a defense that you saw pop up by a lot of pros in the most recent Red Hot Gaming tournament. This year the meta has been recently a lot of these engaged blitzes with people coming out in the double safety go, right? But I'm about to teach you a new way to run this that is going to make this type of defense way better. And if you watch the tournament, you might have seen Abram running this. We're going to be looking at the dime 3-2. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you guys is the coaching adjustments you're going to want. Then we're going to get into these subs and different setups you're going to want to run. Now, truthfully, guys, there's a few different ways you could run this. You could run this with auto flip off, which is the way I prefer to run it on base alignment. Or you could even run it on default alignment. Now, there's kind of some pluses and minuses to each. For the purposes of this video, we will be looking at base alignment. I recommend using conservative option defense. And for your zone drops, you can leave them on default or you could set them. If you want to set them, one of my favorite zone drop settings to use is 20 flats, 5 curl flats, and then a 5 hook zone. But we're just going to put it on default. Okay, so guys, instead of coming out in the double safety go, what we're going to do is we're going to come out directly in the play we want to run. Now, for me, guys, what I'm personally going to do is I'm going to run this cover 4 quarters. Now, this is going to allow me, with my zone drops on default, to mix in both match and zone drop defense. All right, guys, so when you run this defense, make sure you put your best user where you see Watts and your fastest blitzing linebacker where you see Nitschke. Really, if I was in a game, I would take Nitschke out and use a better player, but it's still going to work regardless. Now, the setup is really easy, and I'm going to show you guys not only how to make the blitz work, but how to change the coverage up so it's a little bit better. So make sure you stay tuned throughout the whole video because I promise you guys you're not going to want to miss out on this info. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, drop me a like, comment on the video. I do daily Madden 25 videos, tips, and gameplays. So if you're looking to get better at the game or just like watching high-level players play the game, this is the only place you need to be. So the first thing with this blitz you're going to do is you're going to show blitz. This is really the biggest difference in this type of defense versus the double safety go meta, is when you show blitz, you're going to simply hit coverage audible, which is triangle Y, to bring up the coverage adjustments menu. Then you're going to hit the button for show blitz. As you guys can see from me, that is R1. Now that does a few things. It moves the safeties in the box, which defends against the quick seams better. It actually presses the outside corners, which is huge, which I'll show you in a second once we get into the coverage. But then it also brings your sub linebackers up a yard. It creeps them up a little bit further, which makes this blitz even better. So what I'm going to do is simply just take my user. I'm going to put him in a zone. Really whatever, it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to blitz the linebacker down on the left. I'm sorry, on the left, yeah. And to do that, I hit basically right. So I hit right twice on the D-pad. Then I hit that player's icon. In this case, that square. And then blitz him. It's down on the right analog stick. That might sound like a lot, but I promise you guys, if you just do it a few times, you'll get used to it. Now, past this, that's really all you got to do if you want the blitz to work. There are some things you can do better, which I'll show you in a second here to make the blitz and the coverage better. But all we're going to do here is with our user, we're going to run into this guard. We're going to stand over him and run into the guard at the snap. And you guys can see that blitz screams. Now, like I said, when you come out in double safety go, that's a big difference. This blitz is like a second faster because the linebacker is closer. Bam, he's just immediately through the gap straight down for the sack. Now, because my user's in a zone, I just literally just tap him, bam, and you guys can see once I do that, I drop back. Now, because I'm just tapping and I'm in a zone, I can stick switch if I want. Sometimes I will say your user will be able to run free through the A-gap, so if they just let your user come through the A-gap, make sure to do that. This is match coverage. So keep in mind, this is match by default because we have our quarter flats and this is cover 4 quarters. Now, don't worry, if you don't want to play match, you can get out of it pretty easily. Let me show you how to do that. So say you don't want to do match, what we're going to do is we're going to, again, show blitz. Show blitz is always the first step. If you're looking to become a better Madden 25 player and win more games, check out sportsgamers.com. This is where I post all my premium content. You get all my offensive and defensive schemes, ebooks, weekly tips, blitzes, money plays, bombs, and more. I have all the best content available at the cheapest prices available anywhere. Sign up today for as little as $9.95. Click the link in the description. I also pinned it in the comments. Let's win more games and dominate together, boys. Take our user, stand right here, blitz that linebacker on the basically left of the screen. Now, if I don't want to do match, one of the easiest ways is just to get rid of those quarter flats by shading my coverage underneath. To do that, I hit coverage auto. Again, that's triangle Y. And to shade underneath, you hit down on the right stick. This will give me hard flats, okay? Once you get rid of the quarter flats, you're not going to have all that matching anymore. You still can have a little bit of match going on sometimes with the deep zones, but overall, it's not really something you need to worry about anymore, okay? Then another thing you can do to make the blitz better is actually QB contain. To do that, you either hit R1 or RB. I just prefer contains on the ends because it makes rolling out against this harder. And then one of the things I really like to do is drop that deep tackle back in the hook zone so I have some help over the middle of the field. To do that, I hit left on the D-pad twice, left, then his icon is triangle, and then I can put him in whatever zone I want. In this case, I'll do a hook curl to the right. But same thing, I'm just going to hit the guard with my user at the snap, bam, then I'm able to just drop back. You guys can see I'm able to stick switch on Dion, bam, sack. If you take a look at the replay, you're going to see this was no longer matched, this was zone drop, and we had only a 3-man rush here. Now, like I said, I actually want to explain why this coverage is way better than the other version of this blitz people are running. So the other version of this blitz people are doing is they're just coming out in double safety go, right? When they do that, there's two huge differences. So coming out in double safety go, audibly to cover 4 drop. This has been the meta, right? You do basically the same thing, just exactly this. But here's the problem. There's two problems. First of all, look at where this linebacker on the left of the screen is lined up. Nitschke, compared to what we just did, you guys can see on the replay, we're a full yard or so closer, making this blitz come faster. But also, these DBs are pressed. The outside corners are pressed. Watch what I mean here. So, just running it like this is not that good. And the reason why it's not that good is because I can just literally just throw a speed out with my eyes closed, and it's pretty much always going to get open. So here, I'm just going to block this blitz real quick and throw a speed out and just show you guys what I mean. There's just no chance that DB can stop a speed out because he's backed up too far. Okay, guys, so I want you to see the huge difference in the speed out defense here. Because we're pressed and not backed up, you're going to see that this corner is like right there. He's right there. Worst case, he's going to be able to make a play on the ball, potentially pick it off, or even break it up, just as we do here. You guys can see, this DB is literally in my hip pocket, running the route for me, and there's just no way that's a completion consistently, whereas when you just keep him backed off, it's literally throw and catch like you're playing, in the backyard. It's too easy. This is the biggest reason why I feel like this defense is a lot better. Not only is the blitz quicker, but the coverage on the perimeter is a lot better on that sideline area. No longer can people just chuck in corners and speed outs at will. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. Until next time, it's your boy Duke, and I'm out of here.